Welcome to Top Stories of the Week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ngullie. We were all riveted by the debates in the Indian Parliament, the flying kiss, the Manipur issue, and of course the condition of our parade grounds in our districts as parade contingents struggled through slush and mud during Independence Day celebrations in Nagaland earlier. I think you might have come across that video showing the videographer actually calling out names for the chief guest that was riding into the ground. Anyhow, miles away in the United States, the state of Hawaii is going through one of its worst disasters in the past about 100 years. An estimated more than 100 people were reported killed and thousands left homeless in a devastating fire that swept across the town of Maui. Latest reports said only 10 of 111 victims so far killed in the fires have been identified. If you search for the Maui fire on the internet, photographs from the aftermath of the fire strongly elicits images of Hiroshima and Nagasaki after the US dropped atomic bombs on them during World War II. In other news, Brazilian forward Neymar Jr. has officially joined Cristiano Ronaldo in the Saudi Pro League after signing a 2-year contract with the club Al Hilal on Tuesday. Let's check out some of the top news events from the state and from across the country, ladies and gentlemen. After a lull following more than 2 months of violence, Manipur erupted again with 3 Kuki village volunteers being killed following a reported gunfight at Tawai Kuki village in Kamjong district in Manipur on Friday morning. According to reports, sounds of heavy gunfire were heard approximately 47 kilometers from Ukrul town at about 4:30 in the morning. The bodies of the deceased persons were said to have been found after a search by a community organization and villagers there. Tangkul villagers who live close to Tawai Kuki village told local media that the gunfight lasted for almost an hour in the wee hours. The number of confirmed deaths following devastating fires on the island of Maui in the United States has risen to more than 100. Hundreds of people are still missing and search teams have only covered about 3% of the affected areas. The number is almost certain to rise in what is being called the largest natural disaster in the history of Hawaii as a United States state. Images show miles and miles of razed buildings, hundreds of burnt cars on the highways, reminiscent of imagery from post-apocalypse movies. The economic damage and cost from the Maui wildfires could be up to about $7 billion, Moody's Analytics said in an initial estimate that was released to the media earlier. According to media reports, part of what went wrong in the fire that erupted Tuesday and devastated the town of around 12,000 people in West Maui was a lack of a crucial resource, ladies and gentlemen, water. Media resource quoted authorities are saying that they ran out of water and Maui is on an island. Although Maui is an island, it has always struggled with water supply, media reports has said during the time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check out the next news. This was one of the most colorful, if a little uncomfortable, news reports from the previous week, ladies and gentlemen. I think you might have come across this on social media too. A leader of an NSCN faction told the media that the growing number of Naga nationalist factions is a good thing. During an interaction with a reporter of HornbillTV, a leader of the NSCN-K Angmei faction, Kampe Konyak, had asserted that the more the nationalist factions, the better for us. Konyak is said to be a Kilonsa and a Central Executive Committee member of the NSCN Angmei group. In his statement earlier, he even claimed that even for India, before the country got independence, it had, quote, 70 to 80 factions, unquote. after which the country got independence. That was his justification. The NACN leader spoke in Nagamese. He recalled how the culture of factions started among the Nagas, and he called this a good thing. He even went as far as to claim it won't affect the Naga people. Ladies and gentlemen, following the submission of a representation to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, by 8 Naga legislators along with 32 others from Manipur, the United Naga Council issued a statement rejecting the representation and stating that it does not in any way represent the collective sentiments of the Naga people. The United Naga Council said the representation of the legislators was submitted on the day of the Naga rally in the Naga Hill districts of Manipur earlier. You must have read about this too. The rally was organized by the United Naga Council, demanding that the government of India exercises political will to resolve the Indo-Naga political conflict in the spirit of the August 3rd, 2015 framework agreement between the government of India and the NACN-IM. Likewise, ladies and gentlemen, the NACN-IM also issued a strong condemnation for the 8 Naga MLAs who submitted the representation. The NACN-IM said the act was treating on treacherous grounds and that the 8 Naga MLAs had proven themselves to be a confused lot, not knowing who they were and who they were representing in the Manipur Legislative Assembly. The sharp reaction of the United Naga Council and the NACN-IM, ladies and gentlemen, may be viewed in the context of worries following 10 Kuki-Zume legislators, including 7 from the BJP, submitting a memorandum demanding creation of posts similar to Chief Secretary and Director General of Police in 5 hill districts of Manipur. Life will never be the same for Manipur and its people, ladies and gentlemen. People will also always remember year 2023 with a large asterisk pointing to Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh, who will always be remembered for one of Manipur's bloodiest ethnic violent events. It's been a tough year for Mr. Biren Singh. On Independence Day, and Biren Singh made a fervent appeal for peace to the people of Manipur. He urged the people to forgive and forget. That's what he said. He told the people that they can live harmoniously and continue on their path to development. He said more than 100 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless. If there was any misunderstanding among the communities in the conflict, he said, they could sit across the table, have a dialogue, and hammer the solution out of the discussions. He said, our door is always open. I think he was referring to the government. Easier said than done. The road ahead for Manipur looks long. The state has a long history of bloodshed, insurgency, and community agitations. Of course, to be fair, Manipur is not the only one who has been going through the culture of agitations. But this time, Manipur is in a different situation that will take a long time for the people to recover from and to heal. Still, we can always believe in peace and its power to heal and to restore, ladies and gentlemen. The Central Bureau of Investigation, among other agencies, is now remembered mostly for going after government opponents for one reason or the other. At least for this one, the government decided to use it for something more relatable for the capacity and capabilities of the CBI. The CBI has constituted a team comprising 53 officials, which is a very large team, to investigate multiple cases related to the Manipur violence which broke out in May 3rd. 3 of the officials are of the Deputy Inspector General level ranks. 1 official is of the Superintendent of Police rank, and an agency official said earlier. Female personnel have also been engaged as the CBI has taken over several cases of crimes against women. Earlier, the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta had submitted to the Supreme Court that the CBI would investigate 12 first information reports involving female victims. The agency is also said to have taken over cases on a reference from the state government after Union Home Minister Amit Shah, during his visit to Manipur, announced that the CBI would conduct the investigation. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems to be a bit ironic that just recently Hornbill TV talked to an NACN leader who said that more and more nationalist group coming up in the state is actually a very good thing for the people. Unfortunately, this might be causing a lot of headaches for the authorities. Elsewhere there in Meghalaya, the Meghalaya police has busted a newly formed militant outfit in the Khasi Jaintia region on August 16. According to reports, ladies and gentlemen, the new outfit was called the National Liberation Council of Nong Ying Dong. Yeah, the National Liberation Council of Nong Ying Dong, or NLCN. You should not be confusing this with the NACN in Nagaland. So the new group was called, the new group that the Meghalaya police busted is called NLCN. The name has a similar ring to the many NACN groups in Nagaland. NLCN reportedly formed alliances with other militant factions in Nagaland. According to reports, according to the media, a section of their cadres was scheduled to undergo armed terrorist training in Nagaland on August 17, 2023. Acting on this intelligence, an operation was launched by the authorities on August 16, 2023, resulting in the arrest of 7 members of the NLCN. The reports had said that a juvenile member of the gang also was apprehended in the East Khasi Hills district. Let's try out the next news, ladies and gentlemen. The Kerala government has decided to issue new textbooks to restore deleted chapters in the NCERT Class 11 and Standard 12 textbook relating to a long list of important historical events and academic discourses, ladies and gentlemen. These topics include, changes include restoration of topics on Mahatma Gandhi's assassination, the 2002 Gujarat riots, and the period of emergency during the Congress rule. The Kerala government will be conducting a book distribution program in Thiruvananthapuram on August 23. The government noted that there were attempts to hide the basics of the Constitution of India to the history of the country by claiming that it was not suitable for this era. For this reason, Kerala decided to release additional textbooks on the subject of humanities. Many sections were deleted from textbooks of the 6 to 7 standard books. The pretext of the exclusion was to reduce academic load. That's what the education authorities had said earlier. A Kerala minister said that removal of the topics was to protect some vested interests. Kerala is putting national academic interests first through this action. Topics on industrial revolution was also removed, if you remember, ladies and gentlemen. This June, the NCERT also removed the periodic table and topics on democracy. And topics on Charles Darwin's evolution theory was also removed. Again, topics on the Gujarat riots and topics on Nehru in class 11 to 12 textbooks have been restored by the Kerala government in this regard. It looks like the government of Nagaland will be deciding on the controversial Forest Conservation Amendment Act of 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, Nagaland's Power Minister KG Kenya told HornbillTV today that the Nagaland Legislative Assembly will figure it out during the monsoon session that has been scheduled from September 11. Various community organizations in Nagaland had demanded that the government hold a special session to pass a resolution against the act. The Power Minister said that there will be no special sessions, but the Assembly would address the act during the monsoon session and will pass a resolution to not endorse the act. The Minister also talked about the 33% reservation quota for women in municipal institutions. Speaking on the verdict given by the Supreme Court in this regard, he said that the court has now acknowledged that Article 371A is a special act. Nagaland is prepared to provide even 35% reservation in this regard, the minister had said. The only thing is that the government should not dictate the state and its people and should not try to impose laws on them, but to leave it to the Naga people to frame their own laws, the government minister said. Those were the top stories from the week. Ladies and gentlemen, keep watching Hornbill TV. I'm Ngullie. See you next time.